Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. This is the day after, this video series, the day after started, because those post-game shows are typically so emotional and you don't really have time to put your thoughts together. You just kind of wing it, you go live, and you speak from the heart. Now, the day after, the point is we can go to sleep, we can sleep on it, and we can wake up and have a more calm, civil approach. But let me tell you something, guys. I am still riding that emotional high. Just an absolutely huge win for this program over LSU yesterday afternoon, 40-13. Not just a win, didn't just eke out the win, go down there to Death Valley and survive. No, they went down to Death Valley and they thrived. And when you look where this team was at just a year and a half ago when Josh Heupel took over, all the guys that transferred out, we're talking about a 5 to 6 year rebuild. Now Tennessee has set themselves up in year 2 of the Josh Heupel era to go do something special. Now, what is that? Alabama coming to town next week. Going to be a huge game, electric atmosphere inside Neyland Stadium. And guys, Alabama is beatable. Barely survived Texas A&M last night. They're beatable. Tennessee can definitely play with anybody in the country. They proved. It's one thing they went on the road to beat Pitt, right? They go on the road to beat a top 15 ranked Pitt team, and now everybody's saying, well, they're not as good as everybody thought they were, and then they kind of survived that Florida game. They were up 17 at one point, but they kind of survived. Again, top-ranked Florida team, but people are saying, well, Florida's not as good as we thought. They always move the goalposts. They always change as the season progresses, and that's fine. But Tennessee went down to Baton Rouge, and they made a statement, and they proved to the world that they are a legitimate contender, not just on their way back. They are back in 2022, and they're going to have an opportunity to go and prove it next Saturday against Alabama. We're going to talk about this LSU game, some of the things that I liked about this Tennessee football team on Saturday. Before we do that, as always, do me a favor, go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you are new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts, we're not insiders, we are fans just like you. For the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. It is going to be a very, very busy week right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Tonight, I'll go live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Going to be playing some NCAA football, but also talking about this LSU game, talking about the scores around the SEC. Tomorrow morning, Monday morning, 9 a.m., Eric Kane of VolQuest.com and Locked On Vols will be on the show. 9 a.m. start time, so be there for that. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. fan call-in show. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Ben McKee of the Swain event. That's right, Ben McKee of the Swain event and 24/7 Sports will be right here talking about this Tennessee-Alabama game coming up. All right, let's jump into it. Let's talk about the LSU game. Again, Tennessee goes down there absolutely takes care of business, 40-13. Game never really in doubt. We talked about going into it right before the game, in the pregame show, the tailgate show. We talked about Brian Kelly and would he coach scared or would he coach confident. We talked about whether or not he would look like Billy Napier and go out there and go for it on fourth down multiple times, and we saw him do just that. Brian Kelly was coaching scared, and that again tells me, when's the last time? When is the last time that other coaches, other fan bases actually feared a Tennessee football team? And I think we are starting to see that week in and week out with guys like Billy Napier and Brian Kelly feeling forced to go for it on fourth down in situations that you wouldn't necessarily do that. And another thing that he did was right out of the gate wins the toss and wants the football. He wants to be able to keep Tennessee's offense, keep Hendon Hooker on the sideline, and try to go score early and get that lead. And just an absolutely picture-perfect start for Tennessee. LSU muffs the opening kick, and the Vols answer quick, right? They go right down, put together a quick little drive from the LSU 27. Jabari Small punches it in from 1 yard out. Then LSU comes out, 3 and out, right out of the gate, 3 and out. D. Williams with an electric punt return, 58, 59 yards, something along those lines, sets Tennessee up again. They can't really get going, tried to get Small going early, didn't really have any success. But again, you take the free points, Chase McGrath knocks home the field goal, Tennessee up 10-0 right out of the gate. So again, something that we said was a key is for Tennessee to start fast, but then again, LSU is a football team that if you let them hang around, they'll make plays and they'll fight back. We saw them do that against Auburn, but they were never really able to impose their will on Tennessee. And that's, again, something that this football team has continued to do well, is not turn over the football. And we saw it again on Saturday. I think Jalen Wright had the fumble that rolled out of bounds, but Tennessee protected the ball, did not turn the ball over. On the LSU side of things, they lost a fumble and also had the interception there late, Trayvon Flowers pulling down towards the end of the game. But probably the thing that sticks out to me more than anything about this football game on Saturday is the defense. And, we saw them with a game plan against Florida to sit back in zone, keep their eyes on Richardson, and he picked them apart and threw all over them. And Jaden Daniels, when you look at the stat lines, 32 of 45 for 300 yards, touchdown and an interception. But again, threw the football 45 times. And Tennessee liked their odds to go out there, get after Jaden Daniels, and they did. They got pressure on him, and he made some plays, and that's fine. Players make plays. When you're playing a team like LSU, they are going to go out there and make plays, but Tennessee was aggressive. They brought pressure, the way they stunted, the things they did up front with that defensive line. We've talked a lot about, can this defensive line get pressure? Where is Byron Young? Byron Young had his coming out party yesterday against LSU. 2.5 sacks. He lived in the backfield. Even when he didn't get home, he was bringing pressure. Roman Harrison had a sack. Joshua Josephs had a sack. Bryson Eason was credited with a half a sack. Latrell Bumpus made a couple of plays where he was back there, and then BY came in and kind of cleaned things up. But the bottom line is the schematics. What this coaching staff did schematically to get after Jaden Daniels, try to force pressure, get after him, get him to the ground. Tennessee defense, we've said it before, they don't, even though Josh Heupel wants this defense to be elite, they don't have to be necessarily elite. Tennessee's offense is good enough. Look, LSU's defense, pretty dang good defense. Tennessee goes out and hangs 40 on them. Tennessee can score on any team in the country. So if the Tim Banks defense goes out there and just does enough, gets a few stops, lets Tennessee get out to a lead, and again, Tennessee jumping out early, getting that lead early, LSU is forced to throw the ball. Jaden Daniels has to throw the football, and that's why you see him throwing the ball 45 times against Tennessee in that football game on Saturday. Big thing for me, too, time management right down the stretch. And even you go look at the time of possession for this football game. Again, Tennessee gets out early. Can they chew that clock up and still continue to move the football? I like that they were up 37-13, and they put together a 9-minute drive to kind of eat up that clock. They had way more success doing it. Way more success doing it than they did against Florida. They were letting it run down. They huddled up a few times. Time of possession, Tennessee 30 minutes and 23 seconds to LSU 29-37. That's what I like to see, the ability to pound the rock late in the game, because if you're going to go beat teams like Alabama, teams like Georgia, you're going to have to be able to run the football late in the game, and I like seeing that success from Tennessee. Again, we talked about this last night on the postgame show. 263 yards on the ground for the VAWLS. LSU held to 55 rushing yards, and it didn't just come from Hendon Hooker. Going into the game, I felt like if they were going to get that run game going, you really had to get Hendon Hooker involved. Now, he did have 10 carries for 56 yards. A lot of that, Hendon Hooker's just making plays, right? When guys get in the backfield, the way he's just elusive, gets away from pressure, and then goes and gets some. It's not just avoiding a sack. It's the way he is elusive, and then he gets down the field and makes plays. But Jabari Small, big-time day, 22 yards, 127 yards, and 2 touchdowns, average 5 yards per carry. Jalen Wright, 12 carries, 59 yards. But again, more specifically, the ability to do it late in the game when you're able to chew that clock was big. Something else, we talked about it a few times. Hendon Hooker's number one target has been out for these last 2 games. These 2 conference games that were huge wins, getting the monkey off your back against Florida, going and making a statement against LSU, all done without Cedric Tillman. But Brew McCoy, Jalen Hyatt, even Ramel Keaton continue to make plays. Brew McCoy, 7 catches for 140 yards. Jalen Hyatt, 4 catches, 63 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Saw Chad Ochocinco out there tweeting out, who is that kid in 11 for Tennessee? He loves him some Tennessee. This country is starting to love them some Tennessee. They're loving some Hendon Hooker too. Again, big-time play from Hendon Hooker, taking the shot there to Jalen Hyatt. Big-time touchdown throw. His stat line, probably not as elite as you want it to be, but again, efficient, doesn't turn the ball over, protects the football. 17 to 27, 239 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A big game still for Hendon Hooker. He just didn't have that elite 300, 350-yard performance. You know, I said in that Florida game I wanted to see him put the team on his back, and he did just that against LSU. Had a little help from his friends, but just, again, probably the most complete performance top to bottom for Josh Heupel since taking over this football team. Huge statement win. Alabama coming up next. Hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Can Tennessee go beat Alabama? Because right now I think they can play with anybody in the country. Also, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up on the way out the door and go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin' VAWLS Network. It's Bama Week. It is Bama Week. You've got 1 week to pick up this limited edition Buck Fama shirt, and then it's going to be gone forever. So what better time to pick it up than now? I don't know that it'll be there before the game, but if you want one, you better get one, because we are going to remove that shirt from the store on Saturday after the post-game show. But again, that is bonfire.com/store/TalkinValls. Any and all support, greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for the post-game show last night. Absolute blast talking about this win, celebrating together. That is what it's all about. Also, thank you to all the new members of the channel. Look forward to having you on the call-in shows on Tuesday. We'll do a tailgate show again next week. It's great to be a Tennessee Vol. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.